Okay. It is crypto faceless. I remain faceless. I remain nameless, guys. Back at it again. Go ahead, give me a like on the way in. If you haven't subscribed yet, I don't know what you're waiting on. Stop right now. Hit the subscribe button. I got another TitanX update for you guys. We're gonna go over why I believe that TitanX is going exactly as planned. You gotta stay calm. I'm also gonna be going over Jake's latest live stream from a week ago. He dropped a lot of good info on that stream, and he also said exactly when he thinks TitanX is going to moon. Yes, we have an exact date. I'm gonna get into that today, but first, let's get into the wider market as usual. Man, we got BTC going up today, going right back up to $67,000 as of recording of this video, and yeah, I pretty much said in my last video or the video before that, I said that we're probably going to range in between the lower 60Ks to the mid to high 60Ks, from around 62-ish to 66, 67-ish. And that's exactly what we've been seeing the past few days of price action in BTC. I think that we probably got another couple weeks of this, or at least another week, all right, minimum another week. Um, but good price action we're seeing right now in BTC. In Ethereum, we actually have news from the SEC that they're going after Ethereum and calling Ethereum a security. But what happened to the price of Ethereum? Absolutely nothing. It just went up. It just went up. It did nothing to the price of Ethereum, which is actually very typical in a bull market. So when you know that you're in a raging bull market, one thing that is very typical is that bad news does not affect the price, and we're seeing that right now. Something like this, if it would have came 6 to 7 or 8 months ago, or more during the bear a year ago, right? Yeah, that would probably hurt the price a lot, right? A lot of coins get hit with the SEC label or the security label by the SEC, and they end up tanking. But nothing happens during the bull market. It shows that we're in a raging bull market, right? And it actually shows another thing to me. It actually hints at the fact that we probably will see an Ethereum ETF this cycle. And the reason being is because, the fact that the SEC is going after it. And we also did get news just the other day that BlackRock opened up, I believe, like they started like a fund or whatever. They put a million, 100 million Ethereum in it or something like that. I forgot what it was. But yeah, we did get some news from BlackRock around Ethereum, and then the following day we get the news about the SEC going after Ethereum. But it has not affected price. So usually this might be a thing where insiders, they're trying to get their their how can I say, white collar, Wall Street guys. They want to get the lower prices, so they kind of throw in some FUD there. It might not be a real thing where they're going after the SEC, because we do know the SEC has already given clarity to Ethereum in the past. I know Gary Gensler kind of like reneged on that and kind of went back on it, but we already know ETH is safe. Pretty much, just signaling to me, we're probably going to get an ETH ETF during this cycle. And if you know anything about my top calls, watch my last video, the Crypto Alpha Series Top Signal. This episode 4. I'll link it below. I did speak about top signals being regulatory clarity or regulatory wins post halving being top signals, right? So I believe if we get an ETH ETF post halving, that is just going to be one of those top signals that we have to consider to have fallen. And and I talked about this in detail in my last video. So go check out my top signal video. Anyway, the market's looking good. Let's get into TitanX, right? TitanX. So let's talk about TitanX. I want to explain a few things that I've already touched on a lot on the channel, but I want to basically go over it again, because a lot of people seem to kind of forget, or they get down whenever the price is down, or whatever the case may be, right? So let me reiterate some things I've been focusing on the channel. TitanX is designed to go down until it goes up. I've been saying this on the channel, right? It's designed to be hyperinflationary, which means go down, right? In the beginning, and then it switches to hyper deflationary, which means go up, right? That's the way it's designed, right? So keep that in mind. Another thing that I mentioned on the channel was that I'm going to reiterate Jack's statement, which is that we're in phase. Not Jack, sorry, Jake. All right, Jake Sharp. Um, I'm going to reiterate his statement that basically we're in phase two. There are three phases in TitanX, and Jake tweeted this out a while back. He said that phase one is to get TitanX in the hands of the people, right? And we did that at the beginning through mining, right? Stage two was building on TitanX. All of those build on TitanX projects. If you go to TitanXHub.com, you'll see all of the different, I think it's 17, maybe more now, build on TitanX projects. That's phase two, right? Just get those built and launched, right? And then phase three is after those are launched and get some adoption. Phase three is hyper deflationary, right? Hyper deflation. Titan X goes into hyper deflationary mode, which means price goes up. So we're not in phase three yet, right? So you can't really expect the price to go up if we're not in the phase where the price is supposed to go up, right? Because you have to understand, I always say these coins, when it comes to Titan X or when it comes to Zen, I always mention Zen with Titan X because they're very similar in tokenomics and design, right? They're not designed to go up until certain market conditions are met, right? Something you have to know. They're not like regular coins, right? They're hyper deflationary right there in the beginning, which means you're going to have to go through a long period of down, right? And you just have to be ready and willing for that. A lot of people don't read the white paper and they complain later on. So we're not in phase three, right? So which means what? If you understand all of that, that means that you know that this is a waiting game. This is a waiting game, guys. Like this is literally a waiting game. The fireworks come later on. It's like New Year's Eve, right? You have to wait many, many hours, hours and hours and hours, and then at midnight is when the fireworks come, right? It's the same thing. You got to wait many, 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 many months, and then the fireworks will come later on. This is literally a waiting game, guys. All right. So I always say, coins like this, Titan X and Zen, it's going to go down until certain market conditions are met, right? And Jake does a really good job at explaining this in his last live stream. Now I want you guys to go check out the live stream he did about a week ago with cryptographics. The channel is called cryptographics, so crypto GRFX, right? I might link it below. Very good live stream he did a week ago. Explained a lot about hyper, a lot about Titan X, and uh even gives kind of a time frame for when Titan X is going to go up or going to moon, as he said in the live stream. Now, I'm going to give you kind of the highlights of what I took from the live stream, but I suggest you actually go watch the whole thing because it was a lot of good nuggets in there. And if you're into Titan X, I think you'll really like that live stream. So basically, what happened was, what he said was Titan X is meant to be a long-term store of value for the ecosystem, and that Hyper, as we know, Hyper has launched, right? Hyper is the compounding system built on top of the store of value. Okay, so what does that mean? The way that Jay kind of recommended to use Hyper is basically to use it as a compounding system, meaning that you start miners on Hyper, then you take those miners and you sell them on the market, and then you start more miners, right? As you do that, there's this kind of like a flywheel effect on top of Titan X because 97% of the supply, or 97% of the ETH gets used to buy Titan X on the open market, right? And then 100% of that Titan X gets used to buy Hyper on the market, right? So this is kind of like long-term net positive for the price of Titan X. You basically use Hyper in order to get more Titan X, right? That's kind of like the design of it, right? Hyper is the compounding element. You mine it, you claim it, you sell it into Titan X, right? And you get more Titan X, right? You can also use it to compound your ETH. But of course, if you're watching this video, you're into Titan X, so you might as well, you probably want to compound your Titan X, right? You want to get more Titan X. So that's the use case right there. One thing that he kept, repeating during the live stream was that he would rather have all of the Titan X locked away in smart contracts out of the hands of the weak-hand users to a benevolent contract. Kind of like what we've been seeing on these build on Titan X protocols, and it helps the price go up fast and quick. Really, at the end of the day, right? Getting all of the Titan X out of the hands of the people who could actually end up dumping, because you have a lot of weak hands, emotional people end up dumping, right? You want to get all of that TitanX into smart contracts, these benevolent smart contracts that are only designed to help the price of TitanX, right? So, the more people use these protocols, like Hyper, like DragonX, like Helios, like, the other ones coming up, like Titan Blaze, and go check out TitanXHub.com, where you can get all the the information about the projects when they're coming out. But the more people use those, all of those projects are designed to take TitanX off of the market, put it into a smart contract, stake it long term, or burn it, or whatever the case may be. And that's bullish for the price of TitanX, because all of that liquid supply gets taken off the market, out of the hands of people, out of the weak hand users. Price go up. That's what it means. Price go up, right? Talking about talking a lot right now, but price go up. That's what it means, right? So, people can't sell it. You know what I'm saying? And the buy and burn will, just buy up TitanX. People have to understand, we got like 40 million or something like that of ETH in the buy and burn. Like, ridiculous, just ready to be deployed at the right times. Like, you have to understand, man. Like, people don't really get into the tokenomics and game theory behind TitanX. And I mean, it's just a genius in terms of like tokenomics and game theory. A masterclass. It's a masterclass of tokenomics and game theory. Will it work? We don't know. We have to wait and see, right? We have to wait and see. But I think it will. TitanX. What you have to understand about TitanX, guys? I've been in this market, for a while. 2016, right? My third bull run. I don't get worried about coins that have communities. If you have a community, you have a good use case, you have good tokenomics and game theory, I don't actually worry about that. I'm in plenty of projects that go up a lot in price and they don't even have a community, right? People just buy it because of a narrative, or they have some gimmick words, right? AI or something like that, and the price goes up. But they don't actually have a community, per se. You know what I mean? I know that for example, just having a YouTube channel. Like, for example, I have a coin called G Swift. Got us great gains on the channel. I mean, it went up as much as 12x in the last few months on the channel. And when I make a video about G Swift, I hardly get any views. They don't really have that much of a community, right? But I bring it to you anyway, right? I'm bringing you many plays on the channel, right? Uh, but when I make a video about TitanX, I get like at least 3 times more views than I do, you know, for something like G Swift. And G Swift went up 12x, right? And I'm not comparing G Swift's price action to TitanX, because they're two different coins that have two different tokenomics, right? Remember, I told you guys, TitanX is meant to be hyperinflationary at the beginning, meaning the price go down, and then eventually turn deflationary, hyper deflationary, meaning the price go up, right? So I'm not comparing the two coins as far as price action, but I'm talking about as far as community, right? Community is there when it comes to TitanX. You have uh, Twitter users that have TitanX on their in their username. They have TitanX, like the little green ring on their profile picture. You have people that tweet all day about TitanX, right? You have a community, right? When you have a community, that's like literally gold, right? That is your price action right there. You just have to wait for the bull, wait for the right market conditions, and then you get your your many X's, right? You get your many X's, right? At the end of the day, so I'm not worried about TitanX when it comes to that. It's got the community, it's got great game theory and tokenomics. I think that's going to do something special at the right time, right? So one thing that Jake was hitting on in his last live stream was that people aren't mining anymore, right? People are not mining TitanX anymore because it's negative now, right? The miner is negative. If you check it right now, if you do a miner, it's like negative 60% or something like that. Last time I checked, um, which means there's not going to be any new supply on the market. Nobody's mining TitanX anymore, right? This is by design. He actually said that on the live stream. He said this is by design, right? Number one, in order to do this, we have to do it fair. In order to do it fair, you have to do a mining slash minting type of system, right? Um, and this is by design. Like, so what's happening right now is the fact that people are not mining anymore. We have a clear picture as to when the supply is going to stop inflating, right? When the supply is going to stop coming out, right? And he said, which is really bullish for the price, by the way, right? And he said, all right, in September, all of the supply of TitanX will be out, which means no new supply. Okay, which means all the TitanX will be in existence. Um, when the buy and burn in the buy and burn for and the vortex for hyper starts triggering, right? We didn't even speak about that. The vortex, around hyper and how that the tokenomics are crazy, man. We didn't even speak about that. But anyway, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But when the vortex starts triggering, um, there's going to be almost no TitanX in existence because the build on TitanX protocols have burned a lot of the supply. The TitanX buy and burn has burned a lot of the supply. So hypothetically, maybe we can moon at that point. That's what Jake said. I'm just telling you what Jake said, right? In September, because of all of the market conditions being met, we could moon in September. Now, does that mean that we're not going to go up until September? No, I think that we go up before. But moon means go up a lot, right? Well, we have nothing holding us down. All the market conditions, are met, and we can just go up a lot from there. So now I'm here to tell you guys, you got to be patient, man. It's a waiting game. It really is a waiting game, right? And I've been stressing that since the very beginning that this is a waiting game. And I'm telling you guys, this is like Zen. If you're in TitanX and you probably weren't in Zen before, you know that Zen has been down for an entire year, right? It's a waiting game, right? Until the right market conditions are met. A lot of people are down and out. Maybe this is because maybe they're only in TitanX. I don't know. I always preach on the channel, don't be a maxi. Like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. If you look at the coins I'm in several different coins on several different ecosystems, several different blockchains, several different narratives, whether it's gaming or AI or layer one blockchains or this or that. We're in all of it, right? Avalanche, Ethereum, Pulse Chain, and X1 or Zen ecosystem, like so many different ecosystems to where I'm not really too worried about the price of TitanX because I'm pretty confident, and you should be confident about any of your investments. I'm pretty confident that the price will go up when the right market conditions are met. During the bull market, I know there's going to be millions and millions of people entering the market. They're going to be looking for coins that have not only good tokenomics, good game theory, but also have communities. And TitanX has a community of people talking loud on social media, right? On YouTube, on Twitter, right? Um, so I don't have any doubt in the price of TitanX going up. We're just gonna have to wait and see. And in the meantime, I'm in plenty of other coins, right? That's the main thing. You gotta be in plenty of other coins, so you don't have to worry about when one is not, doing the price action that you want it to do. You have other gains in other places, right? So something I've been preaching on the channel, diversify, being different coins. But anyway, that is my update today for TitanX, man. If you agree, leave me a comment in the comment section. If you disagree, leave me a comment anyway. And if you haven't subscribed, I don't know what you're waiting on. If you're in TitanX and you haven't subscribed, what are you waiting on? I'm dropping TitanX updates consistently, so hit the subscribe button, guys. It is Crypto Faceless. I remain faceless. I remain nameless. I am out.